Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Bigger, Better launch. We're so excited to have you all here.
How's everyone doing? Everyone excited? We always have some really cool updates for Bigger, Better launches. And today is no different. We're excited for what we're going to be presenting. So yeah, I know you guys are in for a treat per usual.
So as you can see, we have some different people here. So today it's going to be me. My name is Carrie, Shivali Patel, and Lem Turner. We're going to be hosting this Bigger, Better launch. And I think this is our 6th one. So we're pretty excited that we've been doing these amazing launches every single month with new features. So we're really, really excited to not only bring you features, but also some, applicable tips as well. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so the first question we have for you guys is how many of you have gross sales of at least 500K? So we're just kind of trying to get a gauge of where you guys are at, if you're beginners or if you're inexperienced sellers. So we're going to go ahead and launch that poll and see where you all are at. Looks like everyone's responding. Awesome. A lot of you are still working on it, which is great. You guys can get there. It's definitely doable. Awesome. Okay. Looks like people are still answering the question in the poll. So we'll give you about 10 more seconds to answer the poll. All righty. Okay, so we'll go ahead and go on to the next poll. How many of you guys are actually Helium 10 users? I'm hoping all of you are Helium 10 users, but if you're not, you're definitely at the right place to see all of these amazing tools that we have. Looks like we got lots of different people. Only very, very few are not using Helium 10. So hopefully we can bring you over to Helium 10 at some point, because we definitely have the best tools in the industry. I might be biased, but I do believe they are. All right, about 5 more seconds to answer that. All right, I think we can end the poll now. Okay. Okay, so also you guys, we definitely want to see you and who you are. I know we said hi to you already, but we'd love to see your faces too, because I look at all these. I know Shivali and Lem, we always look at these on Instagram. So if you guys can take a selfie of yourself watching this webinar and post it to your Instagram story, tag at Helium 10 software, then you could be entered to win some awesome Helium 10 swag. So definitely do that, because we love to see your faces. We love to see who's watching. We'd like to, say hi to you guys. So definitely do that, and you could win some amazing swag. I mean, who doesn't want some amazing Helium 10 swag? All right.
I wear my Helium 10 swag religiously.
I do too. Yeah.
If I'm going out, I'm wearing that Helium 10 merch.
All the cool kids do, don't they? All the cool kids.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and get into it here. We've had a lot of really amazing launches over the last few months, and we had a really big one last month at Sell and Scale. Bradley hosted it, and there were a lot of great launches in there. So we're just going to go ahead and recap those. First, we added Google Ads in Adtomic. We also added Adtomic hourly analytics in day parting, and then we also added Amazon brand analytics within Cerebro, and we actually have added even more this month. So stay tuned, because I have some new amazing updates for that. I'll go ahead and pass it to Lem here for the next.
Yeah. So, and some of our other our things that we had from last month, where we added some enhancements to Listing Analyzer, and I kind of want to dive deeper into that a little bit, of some new enhancements that we had, just in case you missed it last month and you're not aware. Into Listing Analyzer, we saw, if you go to the next slide, we saw that we have some new updates with Listing Analyzer. You can see a summary view of perhaps your listing quality score. You can see your price point. You can see the inventory. If you were to put in your ASIN right there, or even a competitor's ASIN, and you can see your inventory, your review count. But then also we pulled from profits as well into Listing Analyzer, of showing you about your detailed page traffic and conversions. You can see there in the slide there, you can see sessions and session rate. see your page views, and you can see your units ordered and session rate. So this is just a ton of incredible information that it's already available like here and there in Helium 10, but we did the formality of putting it together for you guys, so that way it's easier for you guys to get quicker insights when you are analyzing your listings. Some of our other updates or things that we talked about last month for BBO was that we had some new additions to the Helium 10 app, adding in some news there and expanded metrics for Amazon attribution. We now have the ability to see detailed page views and add to carts within the Amazon attribution tool. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already. And I'll pass it off now to Shivali.
Yeah. So to add on top of what Carrie's already shared, what Lem shared, I hope you guys were watching that Bigger Better launch last month, but if not, we kept it going with estimated brand value 3.0. Those were some things we've been constantly upgrading to that specific sector of our dashboard. But this really lets you kind of keep a pulse on your business if you want to exit your business. So you can play around with your current sales as well as the growth rate of your business. If something happens where you're booming, or maybe something happens where it diminishes, you can just keep an eye on it and it'll tell you which tools to use to kind of get it to where you want it to be. We also had the Market Tracker 360 product analysis. This was one of the most key components that I think is really, really cool inside of Market Tracker 360. It lets you not only dive deeper into products specifically, but also if you're taking a bunch of different ASINs just to see how you stack up to your competitors, as well as how your competitors are stacking up next to each other. So this means taking a look at maybe when those products kind of came onto the market, how long they've been around, what their keyword sales looks like, which keywords are they really ranking in the, or how many keywords actually are they ranking in those top 10 positions for, or are they ranking organically for? On top of that, you can also see all those keywords. So there's just a lot of really neat components. And if you haven't taken a look at that Bigger Better launch, I recommend that you do. We also had the subscription summary and customization. And this is just a way for you to not only take a look at what your subscription plan is, but it's also something you guys asked for. So that means if you want to customize, let's say your users, you want to grow your team and you want to add some users to your plan, you can, as well as you can add some tokens. So just keep that in mind. And then of course, we're wrapping it all up with product summary. And I'm not going to let Lem be the only person to dive deeper into one of these. I'm going to join him and I'm going to show you revisiting product summary view. So I actually remember that Bradley had you guys kind of go along with him and do this. And I want to take a moment here right now to do just that. So if you haven't already done it, I want you to take a second here to open up Amazon.com, go to your product listing if you already have one. And if you don't, that's okay. Just go to a product page that you're taking a look at. And I hope you have that Helium 10 Chrome extension installed. If you don't, it's www.helium10.com/extension. Make sure you get that downloaded. And then when you are on that product page, right, you'll be able to see this little widget you're taking a look at. So the highlighted section in blue, you'll be able to see that on top of your images. Now, this gives you a lot of really useful information. You have your 30-day sales. If you click on that graph, you'll be able to see some historical context. You also have your FBA fees, variation count, but also go ahead and click that view more button. And when you do that, you access a lot of really cool additional features. You have your ASIN, and this is without having to go into your Chrome extension button, that icon that you click on top, having to see those inventory levels and X-ray. You don't have to click any of that. Now it's just there on that listing page. And what's even more is you have those additional tabs that you're taking a look at right next to summary. Does everybody see them? Let me know in that chat section. Are you guys following along? And do you see that marketplaces tab? Because when you click marketplaces, right, I see people are saying yes, awesome. So if we go on to the next PowerPoint slide here, you'll see what you see when you click marketplaces. And that is a handful of different marketplaces that product is selling in. Now, some of you that are already selling might see that your product is actually being sold in marketplaces you didn't even know where they were being sold in, or maybe you're not the one that's selling them. This is a really fast way to kind of see if maybe there's somebody else that's reselling your product, or there's a hijacker, or maybe you just want to get a feel for if there's competitors out there and just get a feel for how strong they are. This is a great way to do that. This specific slide is taking a look at Manny's Mysterious Oddities. We only sell this in, I believe, the US and Mexico markets. So you can see that we have some additional marketplaces here that are already selling that product. But let's go ahead and move on. Hopefully you were able to kind of follow along, go to that product page that you have, click view more, take a look at marketplaces, and play around just so you get a better understanding of that particular feature. I see Tanvir says you're too fast. Well, I'll hope to slow it down a little bit as we go forward, but if I'm too fast, we will also have a replay of this available. So feel free to tone down that playback speed and watch it again.
All right, so what do we have cooking for October? We have a lot of great things here in October for you. First of all, we wanted to not only give you some of our new launches, but we wanted to also incorporate some new strategies. We had a lot of you ask for strategies, so we are actually going to be giving you our top 6 keyword research strategies. So we're going to be sharing those all throughout this presentation. So make sure you stay tuned to the end so you don't miss any of those. They're very, very helpful, and I hope that you all are able to implement them. But let's go ahead and get into our launches. Okay, I'm pretty excited about this. This is brand analytics in Cerebro. Now, we did mention this last time, and I want to do a little poll here to see how many people have actually have brand registry already set up in there, because this is available to anyone who has brand registry. Okay, so brand registry, and also you have to have elite or a diamond. So the thing about this is, instead of having to go back and forth from Amazon to Helium 10, back and forth, seeing search volume, you actually can see brand analytics information all in one place. Okay, so last time we added a click share to Cerebro, so you could see click share. And now we actually added conversion share as well. So I'm going to go a little bit deeper, and it looks like a lot of you are enrolled in brand registry. So thank you all for answering that. So this will apply to you. Okay, so this is available for anyone who does have brand registry. So make sure that first of all that you're brand registered on Seller Central, and then second of all, you have to have connected your Helium 10 account to your Seller Central account. So if you don't have those connected, that could be why you might not see these columns in there. So make sure that you connect those, and then also make sure you have brand registry. But this is some amazing information that we've added in here to help give you just some more details and just information to make good business decisions. So I wanted to give you a few different ways that you can think about this information. So kind of get your juices flowing, because we can give you, different ways to think about it, but it really is up to you to really interpret the data, because there's a lot of different ways that you can interpret this data, and there's a lot of different variables within it. So, so with this, for example, hopefully you can all see these numbers, but for collagen powder, this is a collagen peptide search that I did on Cerebro. Oh, and by the way, I want to let you all know that this is available in all of the marketplaces except for Egypt, Poland, and Belgium. So it's pretty much available to everyone. So I want to make sure that all of you international people know that you're included in this. So yeah, it's available to you guys. So if you take a look at this collagen powder, we can see right here, the click share is 47.3% and the conversion share is 28%. So that can kind of give you a clue of something might be going on. So they're getting all these clicks on the first clicks. They're winning that first click, but they're not converting as much. So they're definitely converting lower. So if it's you that's in this in these top 3 ASINs that are converting or getting the click share, you might want to take a look deeper and say, okay, are the images? Is it the images? Is it are there bad reviews? Is it the price point? What is it that's making this not convert? So that can give you kind of a clue to start looking a little bit deeper as to why this might not be converting. Okay. The second slide we have here is we've got click share at about 35%, and then the conversion share as 69%, which is pretty good. Okay, so that means they're pretty much winning these clicks and conversions, which is pretty awesome. Now that doesn't mean there couldn't be improvements, but this could potentially mean that they're literally the only products being sold. So when I clicked into collagen vegan, I was able to see that there literally were only 3 options for vegan collagen, because most collagen is going to be from animal products. So it's going to be probably harder to find this product. So when I took a little bit of deeper look, okay, they're getting a lot of the conversion share, and that's because they're literally the only ones selling it. So if you're looking at keywords and you see something like this could be potential for you to say, okay, I can go in and win on this keyword with my product because mine is better than these only 3 options that are ranking on this keyword. So there's a lot of different ways that you can think about this and just kind of interpret the data for opportunities for yourself. And then right here we have, perfect keto collagen peptides. Now they're pretty much even. It looks like they're, probably a brand for that, but there's always potential to go in and look and see, well, maybe the reason why they're converting so well is because they're the only ones, and maybe I can go in there and start beating them. So, don't always take these things at face value. We give you more tools to dive deeper. And so if you take a look at this little graph here, you can actually click on that in Helium 10, and it's going to expand and give you the exact 3 ASINs that are the top, that are getting the top 3, the top clicks. Okay. So you can take a deeper dive and you can see the previous months of the top 3 ASINs that were clicked on for that keyword. And you can also see their conversion share, which is really helpful information. You can see which ones are converting the best, especially if you want to get into this niche. You can take a look at their listing. What are they doing well? Do they have good images? Are they adding videos? What kind of infographics do they have? Do they have great reviews? What is their price point? There's all these things that you can take a look at. So this is extremely helpful information. And what I absolutely love about this is that from here, you can click on Listing Analyzer and you can go straight to Listing Analyzer and take a look at these top ASINs that are, getting the top clicks and and conversions, so that you can take a look and see, okay, the one that's getting the least conversion, what are they doing wrong? What are they missing? And so make sure that you can add that into your listing so that you can also convert or win that conversion. So there's so much great information that honestly, years ago, we didn't have this kind of great information. So this is all at your fingertips, all in one place for anyone who's brand registered and elite and diamond, diamond and elite members. So make sure that you take advantage of this. I would really love to know if any of you guys last time, if you want to put in the chat, if you started to play around with this when we announced it last month, if you went ahead and played around with it in Cerebro and took a look at the graphs and everything, because I would love to see, all of that all of you guys' experience with that. So the next tool that we have is Magnet to Keyword Tracker. Okay, so a lot of you, as you are updating your keywords, sometimes you don't want to have to just save a list if you find some new keyword opportunities and then have to, again, upload them later to Keyword Tracker. So we've made it extremely easy for you to add your keywords into Keyword Tracker directly from Magnet. So all that you have to do is check off the keywords that you want to add to your keyword tracking list. And then you click Add to Keyword Tracker, and all of your products that you're already tracking will pop up. So you can click on one of those, or you can track a new product. So you can add those keywords to a new product that you want to track. So we've made it super easy so that everything kind of integrates and works together, and you're not having to click back and forth and copy and paste. It's all super easy for you now. So I love this feature. This is also available in Cerebro. If you haven't used this in Cerebro, you can literally add keywords directly from Cerebro to Keyword Tracker as well. So definitely try this out and let us know what you think. We would love to hear your feedback on how we're incorporating and integrating all of these tools. Okay, so the next thing I'm excited to talk to you about is our keyword strategy. So this is one of our first keyword strategies. And this we've actually talked about on the Bigger Better launch in the past. And I would love for you guys to all go and try it out and just see what kind of keywords you can get for your niche. This is how to find the top 10 to 15 organic keywords for a niche. Okay, so on this one, I did collagen peptides again. I like collagen peptides, so I went ahead and did that as an example. And you can see these filters, these one-click buttons that we added a few months ago. And so they make it super easy for you to narrow down these keywords to the best keywords possible. So if you can see, I've highlighted here top keywords. So top keywords are what you want to click on. And these filters that are highlighted, those are the ones that we auto fill in for you. And so that's what's going to give you the results. Okay. Now, if you want to get different results, you can edit these filters and change them around. So what I actually did was, instead of 500 search volume, because collagen peptides has so many keywords, I changed it to 1500 as the minimum search volume. And I was able to narrow it down to 14 filtered keywords. Okay. So this is the best way that you can narrow down and get those top keywords for your niche. You can make sure that you add those into your listings and that you're targeting those. So really, really super easy and fast. I mean, I used to spend hours and hours and hours narrowing these things down, and it's at a one click button now. So very, very exciting. Now, I'm really curious to know also if you guys have tried this out, to see, what your top keywords are for your niche and, what kind of results that you found. So go ahead and put that in the chat if you guys have tried that. And then this is my second keyword strategy. This is finding the top keywords that your competitors are missing. Now, this is always my favorite thing to do, is to kind of find the low hanging fruit. Now, that's been my strategy since the beginning. I've been a seller for 6 years, and I've always tried to find those low hanging fruit keywords so I can capitalize on all of those. And if you really add it up, you can find a lot of those low hanging fruit keywords and really capitalize on them. And it can add up to a lot of sales. So this next one is the same search. I have the reverse ASIN search with all the collagen peptides. And instead of clicking top keywords, you're going to click on opportunity keywords. Okay. So opportunity keywords are where we can find those kind of low hanging fruit. Your competitors are sleeping on them. And these are my favorite keywords of all time. So if you can, as you can see, these filters are highlighted here, and that is the filter. Those are the filters that you're going to want to edit if you're not narrowing it down enough, or if you wanted to change kind of the results. But I went ahead and I actually narrowed down to 174. I like to capitalize on a lot of these, so you can narrow it down even more so that you have just a few. But I really, I think there's a lot of opportunity when you find all these kind of low hanging fruit keywords to capitalize them. Even if there's only a few sales on each keyword, it can all add up. So I was able to get 174 keywords, and you can, look through this and filter it down even more. But those are the ways that you can find the top keywords for your that are missing, that your competitors are missing. And it's really just those two buttons that you push at the top. So the opportunity keywords, definitely my favorite for those easy sales. I'll go ahead and pass it over to Shivali.
All right. Those are some awesome keyword strategies, you guys. So make sure that you take advantage of them. Up next, I want to cover a renewed onboarding process. So this is an update that's more so for our newer Helium 10 members and sellers, just to simply bring you more immediate value. We have a lot of different tools for every step of the Amazon journey, and we renewed it specifically. So now it helps you connect your token first. So that way you have a more uninhibited usage of all of our different tools. First, once you connect that token, then it will take you into some of those additional tool features. So that means analyzing a listing, finding those top keywords, as well as tracking your competitors as a gateway to setting you up for success. So if you already have a checklist, don't worry, it's not going to change. It'll still kind of update to make sure that you're still in line with that. Next, after that, we have language localization and a customized toolbar. So what's really happening here? I know we have people joining in today from all different parts of the world, right? And so just to cater to that, to kind of create our tools in a more globalized manner, we have, with one click, you can now change that. As opposed to going to your settings, just click that little drop down, the second arrow you see in that bottom half of that slide. When you click that, it will allow you to change languages. And so make sure that if you are in a different country and you want to specify to a different language, you'll be able to do that very quickly with just one click. We also have a customized toolbar. That means that if you have specific tools that are part of your favorites, right? You add them to your favorites. Now they'll show up in your toolbar. And this is really neat. It'll also give you access to our just navigation for our mobile app, which has a lot of neat features of its own. And you'll be able to do that through our mega menu update. Let's go into the next slide. And now this is going to be we're going to dive into a couple of my keyword strategies. So right now we are taking a look at top keywords, how to find those top keywords your competitors are not advertising a lot for. So inside of Cerebro, when you go in and you do a multi-ASIN search, right, you have access to these one-click filters up top. And those one-click filters is basically going to give you access to either top performing keywords or competitor keywords, or competitive keywords, excuse me. So when you click those top performing keywords, it'll give you access to keywords that are showing up for a lot of those ASINs that are helping them generate sales. And when we clicked that for this specific search, we actually only had 9 filtered keywords populate. But we wanted to expand that a little bit just so we had some more keywords. And we changed that criteria from what was initially a minimum of 500 in search volume, an average competitor rank of 1 to 40 with a minimum ranking competitor count of 6. We opened it up to a competitor ranking average of 1 to 60 with a minimum ranking competitor count of 4 and a minimum of 400 for search volume. So that changed that number of filtered keywords from 9 to 24. And then if we go on to the next slide, you'll take a look at what those search result output looks like. When you receive those search results output, let's say you're doing a multi-ASIN search for your own niche, right? And you click top performing keywords, you can essentially take a look at some of those columns. And by specific columns, I'm talking about those sponsored rank average and sort by that, just so you don't have to go through and specifically find and search. You can just click that header and it'll sort it automatically for you. And you can also take a look at sponsored rank count. That means how many of those top sellers are actually ranking for those keywords. Some of these that we're taking a look at on the bottom half, we have pentagram decor, we have magpie coffin, coffin shaped wall. They just don't have any sponsored ads that are really running for those ASINs the last time that Helium 10 checked. Some of these only have like 2 or 3 that top competitors are really ranking for. So if you take a look at those top performing keywords when you're looking at multi-ASIN searches and you're taking a look at sponsored rank averages or the ranking count, right, you'll be able to find those keywords that you can kind of go in and be one of those first competitors to really be running sponsored ads for. And it's very unlikely that all of a sudden one of your competitors or several of your competitors are going to start running ads. So this is just one way that you can go into Cerebro with one click, find those top performing keywords, and then sort by those columns just to find those keywords that you can go in and begin ranking for and start generating sales with. On to the next slide, we also have how you can figure out how many orders it'll take you to organically rank over 8 days. Well, not organically. I'll cover why not organically in a second, but estimate how many orders it'll take you over 8 days to rank on page 1. So here, what we're taking a look at is the CPR column. And this column tells you how many units you'd have to really give away or how many orders you'd have to have over the next 8 days or so to rank on page 1. Now, for this specific example, right, the one keyword that's actually highlighted here, it says that the CPR number is 27. And so that means over the next 8 days, we want to be averaging about 3 to 4 orders per day. And if we use this number in conjunction with, let's say, our PPC campaigns, right, that means that once for the day, we have 3 or 4 units, we can pause our campaign, right? And in the next 8 to 10 days, you'll be able to be ranking on page 1. So this is just to give you an idea of how you can use some simple features inside of Cerebro, right, to not only get to page 1, but generate sales, hopefully, for your business.
Cool. Now it's up to me to talk about sales heat map per capita. But before I dive into that, I just want to take a second and tell everyone on this webinar that you're doing a great job. If you haven't heard that lately, let me be the person to say it, that you guys, everyone here is doing a great job. There's so many people in this webinar, and just by the simple fact of you tuning in, whether this is your first time or you've been with us from the very beginning, and you've been with us 6 times, you guys are doing so well. And I just want to make sure that you feel that, and I see you, that you're doing a great job. All right. And I keep saying in the chat, a lot of people are asking about recordings. And yes, this webinar is recorded. That is, again, I'll say it again for the people in the back. This webinar is recorded. You'll see the replay in a little bit, and Sean will pop in the link in the chat. And then, of course, be sure, as we're going through things, if you have questions, don't say it right now because the chat is just so long. We're not going to see that in time. So just wait until write that down or keep it logged up here. And then when we get to our Q&A portion, throw that in so that way you have the best chance of getting your answer or your question answered. Okay. Now let's get back to the subject at hand. We got the sales heat map with the per capita feature. People, this is an amazing feature right here. You can see we have 2 screenshots right here. You can see in the first, you can see your sales on a map of the United States. I can see in Orient, Ohio, I had 1 unit sold for $41, and that's in the total sales. But when I see per capita, I see that it says 32,000 has been sold there, and I've sold 769 units there. Now, have I actually sold 769 units? Maybe when I'm dreaming in my sleep, I have, but in reality, I have not. But per capita, all it's showing you is the ratio of sales to the population of that town. So you can see in that first map, you see the circle's pretty small that I'm looking at there. But then in the second one, it's huge. And then conversely, you can see on like, let's say the West Coast, you can see all in like California, Oregon, Washington, you can see in total in sales, those are my biggest areas. But then in per capita, you see the circles there are really small. And the point of this feature is that we're just showing you the ratio between sales and the population of that region. And why this is so important is because if you're doing external geographic targeting through ads or like through Google ads or anything, you can get an idea of which areas you are already dominating because you're getting the majority or a decent chunk of that population versus areas where maybe your sales are already pretty high, but in terms of the ratio of people, you just barely scratched the surface of all the people in Los Angeles you could be targeting towards. So that's going to be really helpful for you if you're looking to get that next level in your advertising performance for Google Ads or any other external geographic region targeting type of strategy that you have. Moving on to our alerts filter updates. No longer are the days where I gotta scroll down and down and down to see what alerts are happening in my SKUs. Nowadays, I can just go in and see the filter right there. It's available to anybody who has alerts in most marketplaces, that I can see all the issues that I'm having or any concerns or things that like ping up based on my notifications in alerts, and I can just filter to them, and I can see up in the strategy there or up in the screen there, I can see any alerts that maybe I want to see the ones where I just recently got a negative review, or maybe I want to see any of the alerts where dimensions were changed, or maybe I want to see any of the other ones where the buy box status changed. Any of that nature. I don't have to scroll and like decipher and try to like log it through. I can just use that filter and make it easier on myself and my life by doing that. But that's not all. We're going not one, but two steps with the alert updates with the next slide there, that we have alerts bulk enablement. And first, I just want to give a shout out to my guy, Mark Henderson. This is real. I didn't make this. This is not fake or anything. This is so real in our Helium 10 members Facebook group. Mark Henderson told the people, told everyone out there, that Amazon has been recategorizing ASINs, and this has been happening across the board and has always kind of happened in ebbs and flows with the recategorization. But he essentially told the people, told everyone, that if it wasn't for alerts, he would not have realized it for weeks, and it would have cost him a ton of money. And he's glad that he had this, because otherwise, if he didn't, or because with the money that he saved, this pays for his subscription and then some. And so that's what's amazing about alerts. And I'm not necessarily trying to scare the people who are more on the newer side here on this webinar, but this is a reality that when you do expand into the larger SKUs, there's potential to lose a large amounts of money if you don't ensure that your dimensions are proper, that you're in the right category, and that you have your alerts set up out there on Amazon. Because Amazon, it's competitive, and while most people are playing by the rules, there are just a small handful of bad apples that might not be. So also be mindful of that. And that's why alerts is there to save the day, and more importantly, save some money in your wallet so you can go ahead and have some more fun with that money instead of having to spend it on any mistakes that could have been proactively corrected had you had alerts on there. But with that, you got no more excuses with that, because now we have bulk enablement features where you don't have to, if you have a large SKU assortment, you don't have to log it one by one, but now you can enable or disable, which I wouldn't recommend, but enable up to 50 at a time on your Amazon account. So I love this feature. This makes it so much easier for me to get alerts set up, especially if I'm launching a bunch of SKUs, or if I'm just going on to Helium 10 for the first time. Now, if I have 100 SKUs, I don't have to enable it one by one. I can just do a boom, 1, 2 click, and I'm done right then and there. And then, of course, I'm also including some Cerebro strategies here with our top keyword strategy. So of course, I got to plug in some of my ideas here too. So we're going to go over how you can find some of the top root words in top performing keywords. Now, we covered a little bit earlier in how you can find top performing keywords just by clicking on the top keywords there. But what's really important is that we want to know what are the top root words. What are the most common words and phrases used within those keywords? Because that's going to allow us to craft our listing that much more better. Because of course, as we all know, we can't just throw in keyword after keyword after keyword after keyword in our listings. We do have to talk like a human. We do have to speak to the consumer. So having the knowledge of what are the most commonly used words out of our top performing keywords and then pushing that into our listing is going to make it that much more aligned with our buyers and their needs. So we can see here in the top keywords that when I just use top keywords, it's a little bit too restrictive for me. I can only see 3 keywords out of that. And I want to see probably around like 25 to 100. So then I expanded that from 1 to 40 into 1 to 80 competitor rank. And then instead of doing a minimum of ranking competitors of 10, I did a minimum ranking competitors of 4. And you can see on the next slide that it goes from 3 to 38 filter keywords. And now that's an awesome subset, but more importantly, I want to pay attention to on the top right. If you were to do this on your screen, if you're following along, you can see the word frequency there. And that's going to tell me what some of the most commonly used words out of these keywords. Like this specific product I'm looking up, it's a garden tool set, multi-tool set. Some of the most frequently used words in those keywords are garden. 16 out of 38 have the word garden. 12 out of 38 have the word gardening. Tools are 8 out of 38. So that just gives you a good idea of prioritization of, man, I definitely got to have the word garden and gardening and tools and shovel in my listing. Now, while of course this may seem like common sense, when you get into more unique listings and whatever your niche is, sometimes just having this as like a beacon of light and a guideline or guardrails for you to be able on that road of building your listing and being able to know what kind of words and listing or phrases you can use in your listing is going to be that much more helpful. And who knows, maybe you could even use it in phrase targeting for PPC. If you're struggling at finding new keywords, but you know these keywords make up your top keywords, who's to say they're not going to make up some of these other new keywords that you could have the potential to find? So that's also an amazing capability you have there.
All right, I'll take over. We also have a new addition to Keyword Tracker, which is just a simple click into Listing Analyzer. And this is just so you guys, when you're inside of Keyword Tracker, you can now more easily navigate to get a deeper analysis of your listing or your competitor's listing. This can allow you with some insight information you can use on a day-to-day basis. When you click that button, you'll see what's seen on that bottom half of that screen. Up next, we also have increased our black box product tab search results from 200 to 500 for Diamond and Elite users. And I'll tell you a little bit about why this is. So before we would cap it at 200 just because, you know, the whole point of using software like this is to save you some time and energy, right? That's why we have so many different filters. And also using those filters is what allows you to make sure you're not finding those same products that somebody else is maybe searching when they're searching for a product to sell. But allowing that cap at 200 was allowing you to go through all of those search results you were given, right? But now we've had some input from our wholesale and arbitrage users. And because we have the brand and those storefront filters, they wanted to be able to see more so that way they could see those brand and storefront offerings, those additional products that are there. And that's why we expanded those search results from 200 to 500. So that way you can still go through all of those results and have access to that information. And of course, keep up with the competitive landscape that is Amazon or Walmart.
All right, back again with the Chrome extension widget feature here that we have. Now, of course, every once in a while, even myself working at Helium 10, I forget to use my X-ray. I'm like, man, I really wish I could see the sales of this listing, but I just forget that X-ray can do that for me, or the Chrome extension can do that for me. Well, no longer are the days where you're going to be forgetful like me, or just even forget you even have that extension installed, but it's just going to have that widget on the side that's going to pop up and remind you that if you're not logged in, you got to log in, because opportunity can always be found and money is always available to be made here on Amazon. And so we have it on a variety of pages on Amazon. You can see the Chrome extension widget pops up right there for X-ray keywords, or ASIN grabber if you're looking at search results, or if you're on a product page, it's going to show you plenty of other things of like X-ray, ASIN grabber, profitability calculator. It's going to populate there on the product page as well. And you can even see it on the home page as well. If you're just on Amazon.com, you can be able to go look at it and maybe run some X-ray or look at a specific keyword there. But don't be afraid that it's only just Amazon. We're also looking at other marketplaces like Walmart. And we have this widget that's going to be available right there on Walmart. It's going to be able to show you any other opportunities here with your keywords, and you can analyze that if you want to look at that. Or you can look at other marketplaces like Alibaba, Pinterest, Etsy, and you can do some demand analyzer to see what kind of keywords are the most relevant for your search if you're looking on those other marketplaces. So be sure to check that out if you haven't already for the Chrome extension widget. And then, of course, I don't know if you guys have been tuning into the Weekly Buzz. Let me know in the chat if you guys are listening to Weekly Buzz and you are already ahead of the game about these news about Amazon Belgium. See, that's another thing, that there's not only waffles in Belgium, but now we got Amazon in Belgium. And you can see that in profits. If you have your EU token connected, you'll be able to see any sales that you get from Belgium or anything that you sell in Belgium. It'll populate right there in profits. So that's really fun to see here right now. And then, of course, we're going with my other strategy here for Cerebro, or for our keyword strategy, research strategies. But this is something that I think is such a easy thing to do, but can also be equally as easy to forget, right? So this is Ollie. I'm looking to get some daily energy. I'm not a big coffee drinker, so maybe I want to take this Ollie vitamin here. It's got some pretty good reviews, so I feel good about it. But I want to see what are the keywords driving success for this listing, what this listing shows up for. But I can see that it's in a variation. I see daily energy, but I also see that it's in a variation with berry tangy tangerine, which I'm sure it's pretty good, but I'm not trying to look at research for that. So, but if I were to take this ASIN and then pop it into Cerebro, and then if you can see that box right there that says exclude variations, sometimes people forget to check that box. And when you forget to check that box, instead of taking all the keywords from just that child ASIN, it's going to take the keywords from that variation as a whole. Now you can see here that when I look at this, it's a little bit jumbled here, but when I look at the keywords, it's going to say 9,000, but then went back down to 4,700 keywords here. So if you go on the next slide, you can see that I checked that box and it goes down to 4,700. I don't think it's in there, but it's all good because I can explain it. And it goes from 9,000 to 4,700. And that's such a big shift in doing your keyword research of you just scraped off half of the keywords there on that listing. So that's what's amazing when you're doing your keyword research, and that can be such a big game changer of making sure you check that box to exclude variations, so that you can make sure you're only looking at keywords that are relevant to that specific child ASIN and not any of the other products within that variation.
All right, thanks, Lem. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just announce to you one of our bigger announcements for this this BBL, or Bigger Better launch, is that we now have brand analytics in Magnet. So at the very beginning of this presentation, I talked to you in depth about all of this information in Cerebro, and we have it in Magnet as well. So all that great information now is in Magnet. So you can do keyword searches and you can look at this information just through Magnet. So it's all the same. You can expand it and get the exact ASINs that are getting all the click share and what their conversion share is. So really, really amazing stuff that we now have all of this in Magnet and Cerebro now. So again, you need to have brand analytics in order to get access to this. And also make sure, if you haven't done it yet, connect your Helium 10 account to Seller Central so that you can get this amazing data all in one place. No more going back and forth between Helium 10 and Seller Central. So definitely, I'm super excited about that, and I hope you guys are too. All right, I'll pass it to Lem here.
Of course, and with this BBL, I'm hoping you heard at the very beginning when we recapped for September, but all the stuff that we talked about in September and all the stuff we're talking about this month, none of it would be fueled if we didn't hear from you guys. We take so much feedback from the Helium 10 members Facebook group, from our elite members, all the way to our Serious Sellers Club, and especially from this specific feature that we have in Helium 10 dashboard. Of course, I'm sure tons of you guys have smart and good, useful ideas to share with us here at Helium 10. So if you have an idea, go ahead and go up to the top of your upper right of your Helium 10 dashboard screen, click on that question mark, and then click on share your ideas and let us hear your thoughts. We want to know what you think would be useful, and then it goes directly to a real human. It's not like a bot reads this, a real human that reads this, takes it into consideration, and helps fuel some of our bigger, better launches in the future.
All right, so I'm extremely excited to announce this next slide, and that is we have an elite webinar. And so I don't know, maybe you guys, if you have joined these in the past, go ahead and put it in the chat, but this is an amazing webinar. We're going to give you 51 hacks to supercharge your Amazon business. And I have learned so much from Kevin King. He's going to be giving all these amazing hacks that literally can save you money and make you more money. So that's what I love about this. Our elite group, we have so many amazing tips and tricks and just trainings to really boost your business. So, if you want to take your business to the next level, the first thing you should do is sign up for this free webinar. We're going to give you tons of amazing hacks. Like we gave you 6 different keyword strategies in this one. We're going to give you 51 hacks in all areas that Kevin King has come up with to supercharge your business. I'm going to be hosting it with him. I would love to see you there. If you just take a picture of this QR code, it'll take you to a landing page that'll help you to sign up for this. So definitely you don't want to miss out. Especially, I know there were times where I was like, I don't know, what should I do to really take my business to the next level? And this is one of those things that you can do is sign up for this elite webinar, learn more about these hacks and learn how you can get involved with Elite, which is a group of amazing sellers that really will help you to go to the next level. Once you surround yourself with the right people, it can really boost you and take you as farther than you ever imagined you could go. So definitely sign up for that and don't miss out on those amazing hacks. No matter what, they're free. So you should definitely don't want to miss this one.
And on that note, Carrie just talked about association and how if you get in touch with the right people, they can really level you up, level up your business, level up your personal growth, no matter what it is, right? And I just want to continue with that because we also have a holiday readiness PPC webinar coming up. I mean, everyone knows Q4 is around the corner. Q4 comes with so many great different holidays, and you want to be able to capitalize on those holiday sales, right? All that traffic that's coming your way. But maybe you don't know where to start, or maybe you've been in business, you just want to look for that next strategy to level you up. Well, this is a great place to go just to learn some more things that you can directly implement into your business. This is happening on November 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And you can learn about all those latest PPC strategies and holiday tips directly from Helium 10 and Amazon Ads. So that is our dear Vince Montero. He's our Helium 10 guy that'll be on there. And then we also have Brett Darby, who's our senior partner development manager from Amazon Ads. So save the date. Registration does open up soon. And just know that that will be there for you to make sure that you're capitalizing and getting the most out of this coming holiday season. Help us help you generate profits.
All right. Lem, do you want to talk about this slide?
Yeah. And so if you are a native Spanish speaker or you speak German, then you can go ahead and check out the replay of the Bigger Better launch. If you want to hear it more so in your own language, you can check it out with Adriana if you scan that QR code, or with Marcus if you scan the other QR code underneath. And be sure to check out their podcast as well, in the Series Sellers podcast. They each have their own podcast. We have a Spanish one and a German one. So if you're feeling like trying that out, or if you know Spanish and you prefer that language rather than to English, then feel free to go ahead and check those out.
So we covered a lot of different new launches here today. I'd love to know, which one are you most excited about? So go ahead and let us know what you're excited about. It is also a competition to see who shared the most exciting hack. So vote for your favorite speaker. No, I'm kidding. I see we have actually a pretty good distribution around here. So I'm glad to see you guys are excited. Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I love the shout out that Lem gave to everyone, including those of you in the back. Thank you again for being here, for joining us on today's Bigger Better launch. Any last words, Carrie, Lem?
Yeah, we actually, if you thought this was exciting, we have some of the most exciting launches coming up next month in November. Okay, so some stuff that Bradley has been asking for years, actually, and I'm extremely excited. Stuff that I've wanted as well. So definitely, you do not want to miss next month's Bigger Better launch. So make sure that you join live. If you can't join live, watch the replays, but definitely be here live because we're going to be answering questions and you definitely don't want to miss it. I can promise you that. So we hope to see you there in November. We have the dates here on the screen here for you so that you can save the date on your calendar, just mark it off so that no one else books you for anything. And we're really excited to see you there. So I think that's about it. And we're really excited that you all joined us today. We're glad that you liked these new updates, and we'll keep bringing them to you. We're going to keep bringing you value and making sure that our tools are the best in the industry so that you can increase your sales and just manage your business to the best of your ability. All right. Anything you guys have to say?
No, just super psyched. See ya.
Bye, everyone.